Hello and welcome to The Long Play, where we listen to some of the world's greatest albums. It's a little bit like a book club, but there's no books. Hello, Paul Smith.
Hello, Tom Figgins. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm in a bit of a flux because normally we record this episode after we've recorded the Clear Up episode from the last month, and we're across the boundary, and I'm all confused.
You're very easily confused, Tom, aren't you?
Exactly, but the confusion doesn't stop there because in true entertainment fashion, we're entering into this episode, and I don't even know what the next month's album is.
It's good to have a big reveal. I'm in charge of the readers' poll, so I get to see the results.
I did vote.
Good. Well, as you know, so Tom's been looking after the pod dog today because I've been working in Nottingham for the day. So, and when I was in Nottingham, after my meeting, I went to grab a coffee. Shout out to Cosmos in Nottingham, a great coffee.
What did you order?
Just a flat white, but yeah, very good.
It's a good order.
Very good. And around the corner from there was a Rough Trade.
Oh, cool.
So I went into Rough Trade and I bought a copy of this month's album.
Ooh.
Which is...
We hear the listeners say.
Exactly. Which is The Low End Theory by A Tribe Called Quest.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tell us about it, Paul.
Runaway leaders in the poll.
Really? So tell us the analytics. Who? How many votes did we get for all things?
Oh, well.
Have you got them to hand?
I more or less have got them to hand.
That's really...
If I can find the tab on here, yes. Well, so I say it was a runaway leader, and it did get nearly 50% of the votes. But there's the pod dog in the background, excited to be home.
We're recording at Paul's house and he hasn't been over all day.
And the producer's not happy with me. The Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique was a reasonably close second.
I think that's the one I voted for.
Yeah. Well, I'm very pleased to be listening to Low End Theory, although it really was my month. I'd put the list together myself. It was
angled for a hip hop Christmas.
It was a hip hop month.
Yeah.
And so here we are with the Low End Theory by A Tribe Called Quest, their second studio album. So I feel like, obviously I know a reasonable number of Tribe Called Quest songs, but not so much from this album.
Great.
And yet this is recognised as their big album, their masterpiece.
Right.
I think
we only deal with masterpieces.
Exactly. I think it was voted in the Rolling Stone Top 500 in the 40s, 43.
There we go.
It ranked. So in the 2020 listing. So, it's definitely one of the seminal albums of hip hop, and particularly that kind of what was called conscious hip hop, and that kind of social commentary and that kind of humor that Tribe Called Quest are famous for. Mm-hmm. And I love listening to Q-Tip. He's such a unique voice. This album features obviously him, and he's the producer.
Right.
And his fellow member Phife Dawg as the kind of other rapper.
Right.
And it's going to be interesting to really kind of dive into it this month. As I say, it was very much a influential album in that kind of alternative hip hop scene.
Yeah, great.
And it also helped actually, which I didn't know actually until reading up on it today. It helped launch Busta Rhymes.
There we go.
As his career. He features on at least one of the tracks. It was. It performed okay. I think when it was released, there was people doubted whether it was commercial.
Yeah,
and it didn't. The three singles, which were "Check the Rhyme," "Jazz," "We've Got," and "Scenario." Don't think they. Check the Rhyme hit number 45 in the Billboard 200. So commercially, it wasn't kind of a massive success.
This
but
is also a bit of a trend in the albums that we seem to listen to, is that they never usually manage to sort of reach success when they get released, but then have a sort of an after ripple.
definitely.
Or at least on the sort of culture wave, they seem to sort of, get really decent acclaim.
Yeah.
Maybe with the exclusion of Songs in the Key of Life.
Yeah, or 1989 by Taylor Swift.
Yeah, fair enough.
But it's definitely true that some albums are kind of critically acclaimed later.
Yeah. Like last month's
Kid
album.
A.
Oh, yeah, and Kid A.
Kid A as well.
Marky
That
Moon.
was not necessarily received. Well, it wasn't unanimously well received.
Yeah.
And then, last month's television Marquee Moon kind of was a commercial flop in the States.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's true. Sometimes these albums, and again, this is the point of the long play for us, is they take time to really listen to and get into. And so if they're not necessarily accessible right out the gate, they're the ones that have stood the test of time and are now critically acclaimed. And I'm really looking forward to being rounding out my knowledge of A Tribe Called Quest, this album, its influence in that kind of, that conscious rap scene.
Yeah.
And listening to, again, rap albums. I think I've obviously listened to quite a few hip-hop albums, but often they're not a cohesive work.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they're not a cohesive work. I guess like all kind of pop albums as well.
Yeah.
We're certainly moving into territory where singles are more important, or in the hip hop game, mixtapes and the like.
Absolutely.
So to have a kind of a fully fledged classic album, I think it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
And we're looking forward to you joining us on this quest too. At home listener, do you see what I did there?
I did. I'm not convinced it was on purpose, but I like it.
No, I've been thinking about it for the last 3 minutes.
I thought you'd gone quiet.
So you can find us on The Long Play Pod on Instagram, or we are also on Substack.
We are on Substack. Come and subscribe. We are the longplaypod.substack.com, and every month we send out the mid-month missive. So in the middle of the month, I'll be sending out some links and reviews and videos and various
And with
things.
how excited you are about this album, I think this month's going to be extra good.
I mean, it's good every month, Tom.
It is.
And yes, we also send out a start of the month message about linking to the review of the previous month's album, and also just announcing this month's album.
Magic. So we'll see you there. Come and join us. Be sure to share with us pictures of where you're listening to, or where you're listening from, where you're listening to the album and where you're listening from. That's what I meant to say. And we look forward to catching up in a month's time. We'll see you soon.
And remember,
no skipping.
No shuffling.